17 years, it appeared to be the perfect murder. Clare Morris, a 32-year-old nurse from Abyssinia, died in what seemed like a tragic accident. In May 1994, the car she was traveling in crashed and burst into flames on a remote Scottish road. Her husband, Malcolm Webster, emerged with barely a scratch. At the funeral, Clare's brother, Peter, held Malcolm's hand as both men wept. Peter believed they were sharing a moment of mutual grief. He had lost his sister, and Malcolm had lost his wife. But what Peter did not know was that he was holding the hand of his sister's murderer. Malcolm John Webster was born on April 18, 1959 in Usworth, London. His father, Alexander Webster, was a detective chief superintendent in the Metropolitan Police, heading the fraud squad. His mother, Odette Bwitt, was a nurse. Outwardly, it seemed like a respectable family. But from an early age, Malcolm displayed concerning behaviors. He pretended to faint for attention, started fires, and earned the nickname Pyro among acquaintances. As a teenager, he fabricated illnesses, claiming to have cancer, manipulating those around him for sympathy. He left school at the age of 15 with no qualifications and drifted through jobs: nurse, binman, driver, office clerk. He often said, "Why work hard yourself when someone could be doing it for you?" A statement that would foreshadow his later crimes. In 1989, at the age of 30, Malcolm began working at Tawam Hospital in Abu Dhabi on the children's ward. Within 6 months, 3 children under the age of 6 died of cardiac failure while under his care, an extremely rare occurrence. A former colleague, Beth Brown, later claimed that supervisors discovered Malcolm had been injecting himself with insulin. It was suspected that he had caused the deaths intentionally, using the children as test subjects for his later schemes. Due to insufficient evidence and possibly his father's influence, no charges were filed, and Malcolm returned to the UK. In 1991, Malcolm met Clare Morris at Aberdeen Royal Infirmary. Clare, also 32 and a nurse from Old Meld, was immediately smitten. Her brother Peter thought Malcolm seemed intelligent, charming, and caring, but Clare's mother, Betty, felt uneasy. There was something off about him. On September 3, 1993, Malcolm and Clare married. Almost immediately, Clare's health began to deteriorate. She became fatigued, unable to concentrate, and increasingly dependent on Malcolm. What Clare did not realize was that her husband was drugging her with tamoxifam, a potent sedative. Just a day before her death, she confided to a friend, "I'm not right, I'm tired, and I can't concentrate." Malcolm had even conducted a rehearsal, driving their car into a ditch to test his plan. On May 27, 1994, 8 months after their wedding, he put it into action. On a remote stretch of road, he drugged Clare until she was unconscious, parked the car near a tree, and set it on fire with Clare inside. An off-duty police officer discovered the scene, and Malcolm repeatedly claimed there was no one else in the vehicle. Clare burned to death, and Malcolm escaped without injury. At her funeral, he wore a neck brace and stood beside Peter, tears streaming down his face. Peter later admitted, "I was holding the hand of her murderer." Despite the tragedy, there were anomalies. The car had no skid marks and minimal crash damage, suggesting it had been stationary when it caught fire. Clare's friend Leslie Roberts noticed epilepsy medication in the house, although neither Clare nor Malcolm had epilepsy. Leslie reported her suspicions to the police, but they were dismissed. Malcolm quickly claimed over $200,000 in insurance payouts and spent it lavishly on cars, yachts, and gifts for other women. The perfect murder, or so it seemed. In 1996, Malcolm met Felicity Drum, an oncology nurse from New Zealand. They married in 1997, and on their honeymoon, Felicity was drugged and slept for 36 hours. Throughout their marriage, Malcolm continued to drug her, including during her pregnancy. Their son, Edward, was born in 1998 with severe eczema, which cleared once Malcolm left, suggesting in utero drug exposure. During their marriage, 3 suspicious fires occurred. Malcolm also drained Felicity's savings and took out multiple life insurance policies on her. He even staged a car crash in February 1999, attempting to kill her. Felicity survived and reported him, but Malcolm fled New Zealand with over $390,000, leaving her with just $12. Malcolm's manipulations continued. He exploited other women financially and emotionally, including Christina Willis and Simone Banerjee. He lied about terminal illnesses, coerced women to change their wills, and orchestrated potentially fatal accidents, such as a planned yacht sinking for Simone. The breakthrough came in 2007 after police linked his pattern of crimes. Forensic science advanced enough to test Clare Morris's liver tissue from 1994. The results showed a 92.4% probability that tamoxifam was present, confirming she had been drugged. This, along with extensive interviews, witness testimonies, and international cooperation, built a case against him. Operation Field eventually gathered over 1,200 pieces of evidence and executed 90 search warrants involving witnesses from 6 countries. Malcolm's trial began in February 2011 at the High Court of Justiciary in Glasgow, lasting 16 weeks, the longest single accused trial in Scottish history. Prosecution evidence included witness accounts, forensic analysis, and personal testimonies, including Peter Morris recalling holding the hand of his sister's killer. On May 19, 2011, the jury deliberated for less than 4 hours and found Malcolm Webster guilty of murdering Clare Morris, attempting to murder Felicity Drum, and committing fraud, arson, and drugging. On July 5, 2011, he was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum of 30 years, the longest in Scotland for such crimes. The judge called the motive utterly base and noted his lack of remorse. For 17 years, Malcolm Webster evaded justice, exploiting women for financial gain while leaving a trail of emotional and physical devastation. He appealed multiple times, all rejected, and remains in prison. Clare Morris was just 32 when she died. She was a nurse, a daughter, a sister, and she deserved far more than 8 months of marriage before her husband murdered her for money. Peter Morris, her brother, fought tirelessly for justice and passed away in 2019, leaving a legacy of determination against a man who exploited women for nearly 3 decades. Malcolm Webster, diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, remains a stark example of a cold, calculated predator hiding behind charm, lies, and manipulation. Malcolm Webster's crimes spanned decades, leaving a trail of fear, loss, and betrayal. For 17 years, he evaded justice, exploiting women for money and orchestrating death with chilling precision. But justice eventually caught up. Sentenced to life imprisonment, he will spend the rest of his days behind bars. Clare Morris, Felicity Drum, and countless others remind us that charm can hide a predator, and that sometimes the most calculated evil wears a familiar face.